Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to talk about dividing polynomials, and this is really like a two-part lesson. So in this part I'm going to talk about kind of the basics. So we're going to talk about problems that look like this. So I highly recommend that you try the guided notes for this. You can go to divideandconquermath.com to get those. They're totally free. So when you divide a polynomial with a monomial, really you could just use exponent rules to do this. And I want to be super clear about what I mean here. So I've got a couple of examples. So in these cases, I've got kind of three different division problems here. So they look like fractions or division problems. We can kind of change the way that we think about them. So I want you just to notice the denominators here. So this is a monomial, this is a monomial. So this is what I mean by monomials. So this video is all about dividing by monomials, but this here, this is not a monomial. This is a binomial. This has two terms. So if you have a monomial, you use one process. If you have anything that is not a monomial, then you use a different process. And that's what I talk about in part 2. So this is pretty straightforward if you know your exponent rules. So let's say I've got something like x squared plus 3x over x. So what I recommend that you do is you actually should break this up into just two little mini problems like this. So break this up into separate fractions, and now you can just use exponent rules. So for instance, now I can just take 2 minus 1, so this will just leave me with x, right? I just use the quotient rule. And then for this other one, so the x's actually drop out, so this whole thing will just simplify to x plus 3. So that's all you really have to do with these types of problems. So if I move on to like example B here, so I've got 5x to the 4th minus 10x cubed plus 15x squared, all of that divided by 5x. So I highly recommend that you pause the video here and just break this up into fractions and try this on your own. So if I do that, I'm going to have 5x to the 4th over 5x minus 10x cubed over 5x plus 15x squared over 5x. So I've got now these three separate division problems. So for this first one, so the 5's drop out entirely, and then if I take 4 minus 1, I'm just left with x cubed. For this next one, 10 divided by 5 is 2. And then if I take 3 minus 1, this will leave me with x squared. So again, using the quotient rule. And then finally, I've got 3x, and that'll just be 3x, and that's it. Okay, so just to show you a different way that these types of problems can present themselves. So here for C, now I don't have this written in fractional form, but notice that I'm still dividing by just one single term here. So I can really set this up in the same way if I want. So I could reinterpret this if I like this. So I rewrite the whole larger polynomial, and then I can all just show that I'm dividing it like this. And then I can break this into those two separate division problems. So you can either just jump straight to the separate division problems, or you can kind of rewrite it out as a fraction. So that is your choice. So here I go kind of writing everything out. Okay, so now this is going to leave 27 divided by 9 is 3. This will be x squared y. So again, taking 4 minus 2, and then this 2 minus this 1. And then for this other one, 18 divided by 9 is 2. X, and the y's actually drop out entirely, right? Y over y is going to cancel out the y's. So that's what you would be left with. Now for this last one, so once again, I highly recommend that you just pause the video here, give this one a try, and then hit play when you're ready. So I'm going to go ahead and just set this up as a bunch of little mini division problems, since we already talked about how we can do that. So let's see, just setting this up like so. So now I've taken each part of my larger polynomial, and I have written out that these are each term is being divided by 2x squared y. Okay, so as I work through this, so 4 divided by 2 is 2. The x's, so I take 7 minus 2, so it'll leave me with 5. And then for the y's, I take 3 minus 1, so this will leave me with y squared. Okay, so 8 divided by 2 is 4. Let's see, this will leave me with x to the 2nd, and then just y. And then finally, 12 divided by 2 is 6. And this will leave me with x cubed y to the 4th. And so that's really it. That's all you have to know for this particular video. So like I said, if you have anything that's not a monomial, This is a much different process, and that's a much longer video. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.